What the fuck's up, y'all? Sorry for the delay. Technical difficulties. My ass is the personality. I am not the tech guy. So I apologize. Derek's working with me. He got a little frustrated tonight. He'd be all right. I'll send him something in the mail. Anyway, this is my dear sister, Stephanie Vickers. We're about to celebrate and have a lot of consciousness in cooking, and she's going to school you guys on how to eat healthy. For my friends out there that are borderline diabetic, she's going to address that. But before we get going with that, tell them a little bit about you. They see me every week.
All right. So my name is Stephanie Vickers. I'm a naturopathic physician here in Portland, Oregon. I also own a business called Prevere, which is a medical nutrition therapy for type 2 diabetes reversal, people who have recently been diagnosed with prediabetes, and anyone who's looking to get better control of their blood glucose. So thanks for having me on, John.
My pleasure. So, what made you get into this?
Oh man, um, there's so many people affected by type 2 diabetes. Being a naturopath physician and seeing people who not only struggle with the management of diabetes, but also any kind of mood disorder or skin disorder or fatigue can also be impacted by your blood glucose. So it's a really important and big topic to have a good understanding of.
Wow, wow.
Mhm.
And you've been doing it for how long now?
Well, I've been a ND for 2 years now.
Go on with your bad self.
Yeah, but I've been interested in nutrition for quite some time.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
So we always talk about bodies here, y'all. We always talk about bodies. I always look at the wrong damn camera. That's the prompt. That's my camera. I know Derek's like, look up, dude, look up. I see y'all out there. Sometimes I get caught in here because I look somewhere. We look beautiful here. What's up, Connie? How you doing, sister? Glad you're on. Yes, Dr. Vickers is in the house. So we always talk about body process, magic, body magic, consciousness. And so let me ask you this. When you're working with clients, what are you trying to get them to receive from you?
Well, that is an important question. And I think the motivator behind anyone who's willing to make a change is what is it that motivates in your life? A lot of times when I'm speaking with a client, one of our first discussions is okay, your health requires some kind of lifestyle or food management, but what's going to keep you motivated? Anyone can make changes for a couple of weeks, and that's great, but some of these changes they require, the rest of your life. It's a lifestyle change. So, what is it that motivates you? For some people, it's grandkids. For some people, it's I don't want to lose a foot. For some people, it's
That's fucked up losing a foot.
my parents had diabetes, my grandma had diabetes. I don't want to go down that path. So really, it's personalized, it's individualized. It comes down to what is it that you want to change and how can you be your best self and healthy right now and for the rest of your life.
Cool, cool, y'all. Well, bodies. Take care of your body. Love from your body. You have one body. I always suggest try to figure out how you can have some type of communion with your body. And I asked my sister to come on because the one of the ways you have great communion is what you put in your body. And if it tastes good and it makes you feel good, that's even better. So I'm gonna let Stephanie take over and tell them what you're cooking tonight.
So we're going to do something very, very simple. This is kind of more like a lunch dish than I would consider a dinner dish, but we're going to add some like cauliflower rice to kind of make it more of like what a typical American complete meal is. But this is something that's super rich in a lot of vegetables, which have a lot of antioxidants, a lot of fiber. Anytime you eat vegetables before any carbohydrate, that automatically lowers your blood glucose response.
Say that one more time so they get this. I want you guys to get this is some health shit for you.
Yeah. So anytime you eat a meal and you know that there's a carbohydrate in it, it could be any type of rice noodle, which is what we're using tonight. It could be brown white rice. It could be a lentil, anything. If you eat for your first serving of vegetable dish, any type of vegetable, you're going to reduce your glucose response drastically, meaning your blood sugar isn't going to spike. And it doesn't matter if you've been diagnosed with diabetes or prediabetes or not at all. You're preventing that spike, which is what we are most concerned about. Because regardless if you have diabetes, we don't want to have these big spikes throughout the day because they affect our energy, they affect our mood, they affect our skin, they affect a lot of different things I think people don't really realize. So what we're having tonight, salad wraps, super high vegetable content, a lot of protein, a lot of fat, carbohydrates. Vegetables are carbohydrates, but they have enough fiber that they don't affect your blood glucose in the way that you know, a starchy,
Rice or potatoes.
typical carb would.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get
So,
busy.
all right, let's get busy.
I'll switch sides with
Yeah,
you.
we're first time. So we're gonna start with the chicken first, and the chicken has been marinating for a couple hours. It's a mix of thigh and breast meat. It's been marinating in some hoisin sauce, as well as some tamari. So this whole meal is going to be gluten and dairy free. Got some rice vinegar in it, and then I don't know this company, but they are in Oregon, and they make the best sriracha. If you like sriracha, this Thai True, holy cow, it's amazing, but it is spicy, so be careful. So marinating with some garlic and some ginger, some salt, and we are just going to fry it quick on the skillet, and we're going to finish it in the oven while we make the rest of the dish. What we have already done is kind of what they call mise en place, like cut all your vegetables and stuff. This is a super quick meal that you can do anytime. Like probably only took us about 20 minutes to kind of prep all this stuff. So I got a super hot skillet here. I like the cast iron, especially if you're going to finish it in the oven, because you can put a cast iron in the oven and it won't harm the pan. It holds heat really well. Just taking some extra virgin olive oil. You can use any high kind of temperature heat or oil that will go with high temperature heat. So you could use avocado oil, you could use ghee, coconut oil.
So tell them about, because I had last week you came here and you told me don't use vegetable oil or was it soybean oil I was using?
Yeah.
Why?
So what we're learning about the way that those type of oils affect the cardiovascular system are some of the reasons why we're having such an uptick in cardiovascular disease. Some of these like super processed oils, your body doesn't really know how to process them. And so what we find is that they cause even more cardiovascular disease. So one of the reasons we try and avoid like these kind of refined carbohydrates and stuff is because we're trying to prevent diabetes. The reason we're trying to prevent diabetes is we're trying to prevent cardiovascular disease.
Uh-huh.
So if we're eating a lot of carbohydrates,
You need top.
flattering because there is a lot of marinade on the chicken and the oil is really hot. But that's okay, because what's going to happen is that liquid is going to kind of
Yes, Maureen. Yummy. Yum, yum, yum.
burn off, and that hot pan can sear this chicken, which is what we want. But
Up on
anyway,
it. So, in other words, people don't want to use that bad oil.
yeah, the more kind of like pure oil you can use, extra virgin olive oil is really good, avocado oil is really good, coconut oil is really good. Some of this like expressed safflower
That's what I was using
oil and
before.
sunflower oil, we kind of want to stay away from that. It's I guess what you could consider artery clogging.
Gotcha.
And so yeah, complicating the situation when it comes to
Actually fucks up a healthy meal.
yeah.
Wow.
So we're gonna let this chicken kind of go.
Okay.
And then so what we have already done is kind of like prepare the rest of the vegetables. So you'll see over here we have some kind of fresh julienne carrots. So you're taking, you know, small like strips of carrot. You can do this with your knife. It takes forever. Or you can do it with like a mandolin, which is very quick. We have some cucumbers. I made some rice noodles beforehand. So these are carbohydrates, but as long as you're having a small amount and you're eating your veggies before, they shouldn't spike your glucose in the way that we would be worried about. We have some bean sprouts, and we also have some red leaf cabbage. So all of this stuff you're going to use to put in this beautiful butter lettuce as kind of a Thai wrap. So the chicken has been marinating, so it's going to have a great kind of flavor to it. But what you can use any kind of sauce. This is what I like about this recipe. You can use whatever vegetables you like, whatever vegetables that you want. You can change it up. You can mix the sauces. You can mix the marinade. Tonight we'll have some of the sweet chili sauce. It's kind of like a topper. You could use Thai peanut sauce. You could make your own sauce. Like, you can do so much with this recipe. It's very versatile and always super healthy as long as you're keeping it vegetable heavy.
Okay.
What
do you need next?
I'm gonna kind of just check on this chicken. And then so what I was wondering is how can we kind of make this out of a lunch dish and more of a kind of like your typical meal for like what people expect in America for dinner. A lot of people expect that there's gonna be a starch, that there's gonna be a carbohydrate. Now a lot of people aren't huge fans so far of the cauliflower rice situation.
Tori.
But I really love it.
So explain to me this. Okay, you said that vegetables are carbs.
Yeah.
So cauliflower is a carb, but it's a complex carb, huh?
You're
and
right.
rice is not.
You got it.
And so tell me, what's the difference for that for people out there who don't know?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're doing like a brown rice, it can kind of be considered a complex carb because it hasn't been over processed. It still has like what they call the germ and the seed, and you don't get a like a super high spike if you're not a diabetic from it because it still has fiber. It still has stuff that slows the digestion process. But when you're eating white rice noodles, white rice, white pasta, white bread, these processed pastries, the glucose goes directly into your bloodstream. It's a very, very simple molecule, and the glucose, it just gets broken down real quick, goes directly into your bloodstream. Now,
you can keep the cauliflower.
You can,
sure.
you can think that, we use glucose for energy, and we do, but we don't use it in the way that we were kind of like evolutionarily supposed to use it when it comes to carbohydrates. It wasn't supposed to be like a quick hit to the bloodstream. It was supposed to be a slow process. When you have these more complex carbohydrates like cauliflower, you have fiber in it. It has a lot of water. It has a lot of things that slow the digestion process down. And it also has a lot more nutrients, but so it doesn't spike your glucose as much. I think we can throw this in
the oven.
So you could do this chicken any way that you want to. We're just kind of doing it this way because it's quick. You can do it on the grill, chop it up any way that you want to prepare the chicken. You don't also have to do it with chicken. If you like steak, you could do it with steak. You could do it with pork. If you like pork, tofu, anything like that. You can really mix and match these awesome kind of like ingredients to kind of like cater to like your personal taste and also like change it up a little bit. Like, what is it that, if you're just starting to learn how to kind of like make these kind of healthier alternative things, like really it's like this is a simple recipe you could do that you could also change every week and have that kind of background, like, oh, we make salad wraps on Thursday, but we're going to change the sauce this week, or we're going to do something different, so it doesn't get boring.
That's what you don't want. Boring does not work. That's not orgasmic.
It's not. So we're going to do the cauliflower rice next. This is a super easy thing. I did not shave this cauliflower today. You can buy it in bags. Generally, it's pretty high quality. This is an organic cauliflower rice, but all they do is take a cauliflower and shred it on a cheese grater. So you can do that. So we're just going to heat up some oil, and then what we are going to do is add some like kind of classic flavors to make it seem more like a fried rice. So we're going to add some egg because fried rice has egg. Yeah. And we can do some tamari. Typically they'll do butter, but we're going to do olive oil. I don't have a preference with either. And then, we'll just throw in some carrots, probably some of these bean sprouts.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah, and see how it goes. This cauliflower rice is, it's going to be super quick. You don't have to fry it for very long.
Because it's a vegetable. It's already,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not super starchy.
So,
So,
and I've done it before. The water starts really. So if you, that's cooking it, overcooking it though.
well, you just kind of gotta let it, like, you can put it in a bowl and kind of let it just like dry out.
Okay.
That's better because, like, even when people are making fried rice, they typically use day old
Old rice,
rice
yeah.
just to kind of let the starches come out.
Yeah.
Fun fact about starchy food: in, potatoes and white rice, they both have a specific starch that when you cool becomes less digestible. So if you do want to have some potatoes or some like white rice, it's actually better to eat it at like
cooler
cooler
temperature,
temperature.
because what happens is your microbiome will kind of eat up some of those starches and your body won't process them. So that's kind of what we want when it comes to those kind of starchy sugars.
Gotcha.
This
Getting
is getting hot. Throw these carrots in at the same time. So when it comes to this kind of stuff, like it all has kind of like the same texture. Carrots and broccoli or cauliflower, they'll cook at the same time, so you can just throw everything in together.
Tori said, great info. Yeah, I'm learning a lot. A lot. I have a wonderful guest here tonight, guys. How did I get so lucky? How did I get so lucky? There's somebody else sitting on the couch, but he won't come in the picture. But I'm gonna get his ass in there. He makes some great tamales. Stephanie Vickers, like that. This is my girl. She's been the first time I had her food. We were out of town and we came back, and she had this carrot cake that she made with dates and carrots. It was gluten free, and I was tripping because I ate the whole damn thing and it was dense. I was like, why? Why after eating do I fall? She says, why after eating do I fall asleep? She says. Maureen has a question for you. Why do you fall asleep after eating?
Well, it probably has a lot to do with the amount of carbohydrates that you're eating. It probably has a lot to do with the order in which you eat your food. If you do eat everything together, let's say you have a burrito and you're eating like that rice and that heavy tortilla with the vegetables and the protein together, it's like a big stomach bomb essentially. And your body has to like process all that food at the same time. And if you think about like the rest and digest, the parasympathetic versus the sympathetic nervous system, your body wants to shut down and digest. So a lot of times if we overdo it on the carbohydrates, or if we eat carbohydrates before we do like protein, fat, or vegetables, your body's like, whoa, like that's too much. Whereas opposed if you ate vegetables first, or if you ate high fiber, your body would kind of slowly start to digest all of those things, and you wouldn't, and it, so like the nutrients get into your bloodstream a lot slower, and you wouldn't have to feel tired necessarily.
Wow.
So it's interesting, it's not just about like people who are feeling or are like have a family history of diabetes or are having high blood glucose sugar. Like if you, even just like you're, not to say average, but you're a person who's not struggling with these things, glucose still affects how you feel throughout the day. And a lot of the reason that we all feel fatigued is because of these random glucose spikes
Too much
we are
glucose.
having.
And alcohol does add to like we're drinking wine. That's just pure sugar, huh?
It is, but alcohol actually is a hypoglycemic, meaning that it lowers your blood sugar. So
alcohol does?
Really, there's no like good like benefit from alcohol.
Damn.
But a glass of wine before dinner will cause you to go into a lower glucose state. So if you do have some carbs, one glass of wine is all I'll say will be beneficial to you.
Well, we passed that.
But eating vegetables first, and then your protein and fat, and then your carbohydrates is really the best way to kind of get control of that. I'll tell you though, another quick factor, like fun thing you can kind of try and experiment with is trying a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar before your meal. You can go anywhere from like a teaspoon to like a tablespoon. You can put it in water. You can just take a shot, but it's actually been proven to lower your glucose spikes before every meal. So you can do that, and then because it lowers your glucose spikes, you can notice like a change in energy that you'll have. So that's kind of like a fun little hack you can kind of experiment with on your own.
This smells good.
Another thing you can do is talk to your doctor or hire me.
Where can they find you? Where can they find her?
Prevere, MNT, medicalnutritiontherapy.com. You can email me at stephanie@preveremnt.com. You can also call me 503-964-7475. But we can order you a continuous glucose monitor. I can work with your primary care provider or wherever you live and try and get you on this kind of measurement tool. Even if it's just for a couple of weeks, you'll learn a lot about what you eat, how you eat, and how it affects, any kind of complaint you have in your life. Nutrition is one of the foundational ways we can improve our lives, and, it's not addressed all that much in primary care. So there's a lot of good information that you can get from speaking with a naturopath or a nutritionist.
This guy looks delicious. I can't wait to jump into this. Now, Tori has this thing she does every week on the show. As we come to the close, you can hear her start like dancing upstairs because she's getting ready to eat.
Yeah.
Babe, this smells good.
She said she don't want to try it though.
She will. Tori said, what's the tool for today? The tool for today is be kind to your body. Do something active this week. Get off the couch. The weather's changing. Get outside. Take a walk. Explore nature. Put your feet in the dirt or the grass for 5 minutes. Just giving you the reconnection with your body and earth and the yumminess that it can create. Oh my God, this looks delicious, y'all.
Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit more fat to this cauliflower rice. I kind of like made a little, like a pool. Yeah. And I'm going to break the eggs in there and kind of scramble them inside the middle. Just like you kind of would see at, back when they used to have those restaurants where they cook
Benihana.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever they are. And then once they kind of scramble, you can kind of mix it in with the rest and add your tamari or soy sauce.
What? It's just
Probably
hot.
check on
It's 375.
chicken.
Want to check on it?
Yeah.
Went it off?
Because we cut it in strips, it is probably just about done. So yeah, we can just turn that off and let it sit in there.
Oh my God, I guess you. Aaron, what's up? Feet in the snow around here. Yeah, hey, Aaron, dude, I know you guys have like what? Megatons of snow up in Canada. So it's probably like knee-deep. But even the snow, especially going out at night, it's kind of interesting going out at night because there's a oneness with the stars and the sky and the trees. Because it's the silence that the snow creates. It absorbs some of the sound. It's kind of orgasmic. It's like a nice lover.
Walking for at least 10 minutes after a meal, if carbohydrates have been part of the meal, you can reduce your blood glucose spikes just by utilizing your muscle. You don't have to go outside and walk. You can just kind of move your arms, move your body in any way, that you want to. Get some of that energy utilized by the muscle, and that'll pick up that blood glucose inside your bloodstream and prevent it from kind of doing some of the damaging effects that it can cause. So I think that is just about done.
Cutting board at all? Are you done with this?
Yeah.
So you want to move that over there so it's stop because it'll stay hot.
So we are just about done with this cauliflower rice, and it took like no time at all. And it's super delicious, super healthy. You can add as much fat as you want to this. You can add, a bunch of tamari, sodium. It's okay to not be super concerned about how much sodium you are consuming as long as you're drinking water alongside of it.
Wow.
So let's pull that off. And then I believe the chicken is done. So then all we have left to do is eat. And how this typically works, you serve that just with rice. We'll probably cut up this chicken, or you can put like just a strip inside one of these awesome little butter leaves.
You want to put one together so they can see what it looks
Sure,
like?
let's try it. You don't have to use the butter leaf. You can use whatever kind of lettuce you want. I like the butter leaf because it's kind of a real delicate kind of flavor. I think we can just use this. We'll take just like a piece of chicken, and then you can just kind of top it with whatever you like. That's the fun thing about having all these like fun ingredients. And you can even, like I said, treat yourself with some of these like rice noodles. And as long as you're eating them with protein, veggies, and, some fat.
Can you smell it? Can y'all smell that? Man, bomb.
So I got some peanuts here, some cilantro, some cucumber, carrots, all kinds of good stuff. Here you go.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel sorry for you guys. See, when you come to the kitchen, you get to explore this with me. Thank you, Steph.
Sure. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Mm.
And like I said, you can just add any kind of sauce you want.
Oh my God. Mm. And why can't you said this can't be dinner? Why not?
I mean, it could be dinner. That's what I mean. It's like we kind of just have to change the way that we feel about what is and is not acceptable for dinner. But like that's a perfect dinner for me.
Yeah, man, this is from because that's what, like I don't like regular breakfast things because it's like heavy like carbs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm beginning to like I could have this for breakfast.
Yeah, you could, and that would be great. That would set you up for a happy day.
Why would it be different this compared to having like grits or toast and
well, it's the same thing with when you're eating carbohydrates for breakfast. So it's the first thing that you're putting in your body. When you don't eat protein in the morning for breakfast, let's say you just eat some kind of heavy carbs, you're gonna crash right away because you burn that energy very rapidly, like very rapidly. So then you're hungry again and you get moody. But if you have protein, if you have vegetables, it slows all of those processes down. You have more nutrients. You're just setting yourself up for a better day.
Well, guys, yeah, Aaron, yes. So I'm gonna thank my sister. Wait, what's what say? Yeah, a wrap, yes, but hell to the no on the cauliflower.
We'll see.
So wait till you bring your ass down here, Tori, so you can taste this. This smells like awesomeness. I want to thank my sister. She's gonna be back. I'm gonna have her back, Steph. You'll see a bunch of it on my show because she has a lot of healthy tips, and I actually believe that the natural way is the best way in my eyes. So she's in that field, and so I'm gonna ask her to come back tons of times again. Arturo, thanks for being in the audience. He's drinking some wine with us. Please go subscribe on YouTube. Push that button and send this out to other people. Also, if you want to get healthy, she gave you the information. What we'll do is we'll put it on my Facebook page. I'll put more information down for stuff where you can contact her. Hit her up. She's great. Until next week, peace and blessings, y'all. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And it's tough out there right now. So smile to somebody who needs it. Peace and blessings. Next week.
Thank you.